In an age of private jets and Hollywood mansions, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman resides in a separate solar system of wealth and privilege, befitting his trillionaire status and royal pedigree. As the favorite son to King Salman, a princely lifestyle was preordained from birth. Yet since bursting onto the global stage in his early 30s, this new king-in-waiting has rapidly consolidated power across every instrument of statecraft. Ruling with an iron will rarely seen in modern times. Unprecedented wealth now gushes daily into his royal coffers from the kingdom's vast oil reserves. Today we'll delve into how the world's richest ruler flaunts such limitless means across a growing empire encompassing sprawling palace compounds, starship-sized super yachts, couture armored vehicle fleets, and disruptive multi-billion-dollar pet projects transforming swaths of his kingdom. From private Boeing 747s adorned in gold that never touch common tarmacs to rotating garages of exotic Bugattis, Pagani Zondas and other impossibly rare hypercars, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman inhabits an almost alien sphere that billionaires aspire to glimpse briefly. Beyond materialism, we also explore the mindset and philosophies dictating his controversial leadership style and relationship with religion. An intense millennial unafraid to leverage authoritarian tactics, his supporters hail urgent modernization while critics see trampling of dissent and reforms mostly benefiting ultra-elites. Love or hate his methods, MBS remains determined to advance the kingdom into the 22nd century, kicking and screaming if necessary. While elderly royals still envision sand dunes and camels as Saudi Arabia's future, this restless gamer prince visualizes sprawling hybrid techno-cities attracting global innovators. So join us as we lift the abaya veil into the Crown Prince's privileged parallel universe, showcasing an alternate reality of wealth exceeding entire GDPs and lifestyles foreign to all but dynastic monarchs of old, his palaces and properties empire. Like any self-respecting trillionaire ruler, lavish palace properties scattered across Saudi Arabia form sprawling personal bases for Prince MBS. Although the estate hardly describes these high-security city-sized encampments comprising millions of square feet, endless decadence and various skyscrapers practically constituting self-contained urban districts. Each location houses different elements of governance, official entertaining and personal leisure for this notorious workaholic who splits weeks between various sites. Fearsome security layers encapsulate these immense complexes, themselves bigger than global superstars' entire property holdings. Arguably, the principal nerve center remains Al Yamama Palace compound in Riyadh, sprawling over 500,000 square meters in space. Outer layers include military facilities, hospitality centers, guest palaces, and support infrastructure. Once granted access through multiple security gates and checkpoint layers guarded by weaponized drones in addition to the standard machine guns and anti-aircraft systems, the core 500,000 square meter nucleus reveals itself as a dazzling display of regal ostentation. Soaring archways and jewel-encrusted doors expose cavernous corridors lined with pristine Italian marble leading to various wings and chambers. Each turn confounds comprehension of the sheer scale, as an entire platoon could roam this labyrinth endlessly overwhelmed by ever greater halls, ballrooms, spas and amenities. We highlight merely a few zones. Underground levels comprise sparkling swimming pool galleries fed by ornamental fountains, water slides and more aquatic accents than most Las Vegas resort hotels can dream of installing. Surrounding these, discover therapeutic spaces like Russian banyas, Swedish ice grottos, Moroccan clay baths, and enough spa treatment rooms to massage half the Saudi army simultaneously. While hidden subterranean levels astound globally, aerial aspects equally impress. Take the Gold Course with actual grass airlifted from Scotland and top-dressed daily by the groundskeeping squad. Its clubhouse boasts a 2-story waterfall, NBA regulation basketball court, and balconies serving up supercar vistas below where MBS's million-dollar vehicle collection often joyrides around the compound. Meeting halls inside Al Yamama eclipse most corporate headquarters in scale and amenities. Over 2,000 staff remain on perpetual standby, providing concierge services ranging from coffee brewed from rare Brazilian beans to flying an endangered species as dinner guests during visits by dignitaries. When extravagance exceeds even royal thresholds, a series of exclusive VVIP suites exist for the most privileged global elites. Entire guest wings house subgroups like Silicon Valley tech tycoons and A-list celebrities ranging from Kardashians, LeBron James to Elon Musk. These 2,000 square meter mega suites boast over $50 million worth of accents like De Beers inlaid floors, smart toilets with Bluetooth controls, massage rooms, indoor pools, and more amenities than five-star hotel presidential suites. Of course, an army of saffron robe-clad servants and dedicated supercar shuttle pilots ensure seamless wish fulfillment. Beyond Al Yamama, a series of regional palaces offer MBS additional bases like his 150,000 square foot French Normandy estate near Jeddah on the Red Sea coast. This former royal residence, built in the mid-20th century, underwent extensive renovations to meet the Crown Prince's modern tastes for tech integrations. It now houses quarters for his prized sneaker collection, an indoor basketball court, underground Turkish baths, and a rotating garage of rare luxury vehicles. A more contemporary escape, his $300 million Chateau Louis XIV, provides a French Riviera haven when seeking European privacy. This lavish 50,000 square foot palace integrates more classic touches like surrounding moats, vaulted ceiling ballrooms, and immaculately curated grounds, housing its own miniature Versailles gardens. Yet the prince's coastal jewel manifestations, still under construction in Neom, eclipse even these resplendent estates in scale and ambition. His multi-billion-dollar planned palace complex will boast 6 individual villas, seaplane harbors, mega-yacht marinas, and every conceivable amenity from floating beaches to underwater lounges. So comprehensively, his property empire, both existing and envisioned, defies categorization, seamlessly blending official governing capacities with personal leisure realms across immense bespoke palatial estates, representing the pinnacle of regal living. Luxury assets and transportation. Beyond palatial estates, the commensurate luxury vehicles and transportation armada, allowing the princely ruler on-demand mobility, completes the lifestyle picture. No self-respecting trillionaire relies solely on mortal legs for conveyance or waits at the beck and call of pilots and captains after all. From air to land to sea, the Crown Prince traverses realms in appropriate style atop his growing fleet of planes, automobiles, and yachts, surpassing most billionaires' combined inventories. Each craft integrates the latest technological integrations and security systems to insulate this divisive ruler from both external threats and the indignity of mundane travel discomforts. To begin, Al Yamama's 9-story subterranean garages and on-site luxury showrooms house his growing $500 million exotic vehicle horde, maintained by white glove crews, ready to deploy any prized car, SUV, or luxury van to the demanding owner. This astonishing fleet contains relatively plebeian selections like dozens of Mercedes S-Class limousines, Bentley Mulsanne, and Rolls-Royce Phantoms for discreet protected transit, yet also discovered sectioned hypercar vaults staging rotating collections of the world's most expensive Bugattis, Pagani Huayras, and Koenigsegg's, costing multiple millions per vehicle. Outrageous rarities like a $10 million Bugatti La Voiture Noire concept car or equally valued Pagani Zonda R sit aside crown jewels like a one-of-one Karl Lagerfeld collaborated Rolls-Royce Phantom. While boasting such impossibly obscure hypercars rotations sure elicits envy from most billionaire car collectors, the Crown Prince often desires more plebeian custom builds to channel creative whims. These include his robot-painted Tesla Model S, created by artificial intelligence algorithms, or a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van transformed into a portable bedroom suite and boardroom for productive rest during journeys. Of course, semi-truck-sized SUVs like a Brabus G-Wagon, 700 Widestar and bejeweled Rolls-Royce Cullinans handle off-road adventures. For more sedate cruising, an array of rare vintage classics like a cherry red 1930s Alfa Romeo 6C with buttery leather interiors conjures Riviera elegance. Other favorites include 1960s era bullion gold Rolls-Royce Phantoms, a last-of-the-line 1990s Bentley Azure Mulliner, and numerous early-century Mercedes, bringing Concours d'Elegance cream to his acres of asphalt. Air transit exudes equal opulence aboard official state planes, and the Prince's customized Boeing 747 and Airbus A380, finished in gilded accents with VVIP accommodations like full bathrooms with showers, lounges serving rare tea and coffee blends on camel bone china, and throne rooms, allowing this restless leader privacy for thinking or remote governance. Of course, seamless integration between planes, cars, and yachts maintains continuity, like his emerald green custom Range Rover boarding the matching custom-painted helicopter before transferring to awaiting mega-yachts moored offshore. It's actually larger vehicle bays and hangars that often dictate subsequent boat or plane sizes to keep the transportation ecosystem flowing in well-oiled fashion. Speaking of ocean transit, the Crown Prince's flagship Serene super yacht brims with outrageous amenities like dual helicopter pads, an indoor seawater pool, full cinema, and numerous al fresco jacuzzis dotting multiple viewing decks across its 8 levels. This former billion-dollar Russian billionaire exile toy now boasts extensive Saudi customizations like enlarged engine performance for greater speed, expanded living quarters, missile defense systems, and a docking bay for specially designed mini-submarines. So whether unwinding across silk-carpeted plane suites, choppering towards mega-yachts anchored off Monaco, or racing customized Ferraris at private Bahraini circuits, the conveyance armada supporting Prince MBS navigations perfectly aligns with expectations for history's wealthiest ruling monarch, splurges and purchases. Beyond transportation, the Crown Prince's stratospheric wealth supports expenditures rivaling GDPs of small nations when particular whims grip his attention. With trillions in oil revenue guaranteed for decades to come, fiscal realities hold little meaning. Take the 2017 under-the-radar Christie's auction coup, which witnessed MBS grasping iconic masterpieces in one extended swoop worth nearly $500 million. These instantly historic purchases included a $450 million Salvator Mundi painting attributed to Leonardo da Vinci and rare French antique furniture for his dozens of global estates. But this publicized auction spree merely revealed the visible tip of an artistic iceberg empowered by effectively unlimited funds. In tandem, his trusted intermediaries broker 9-figure private sales of treasures to His Highness spanning Old World greats like Raphael, Michelangelo, and unnamed Middle Eastern antiquities guaranteed authentic by the top historians money can literally retain. Word even emerged suggesting plans for an entirely new custom-built billion-dollar museum and antiquities compound to someday store purchased Da Vinci works and additional collectibles now overflowing Swiss vaults and freeports in Shanghai, Luxembourg, and Liechtenstein. Beyond fine art, more recent glimpses into Prince Mohammed's grandiose visions involve expenditures making even dedicated big spenders uneasy. Primary evidence being headline plans from 2018 showcasing sketches for a $500 billion future desert utopian megacity called Neom, billed as an integrated prototype community for 9 million residents. This science fiction-esque Blade Runner-worthy metropolis evokes imagery of levitating skyscrapers, flying drone taxis, cloud seeding systems for artificial rain, and robot servants for every household. Early phases may include a giant artificial moon to light neon-strewn streets below. Now, while such projects conjure both skepticism and unease abroad, the Saudi leadership views oil revenue as nearly infinite still at this stage. What seems unfathomably beyond budget realities today manifests on drawing boards tomorrow, with engineers rushing to keep pace. Case in point, 2018 press briefings were mere theoretical outlines, yet construction equipment and early infrastructure now creeps across designated areas 2 years later. Expect rapid acceleration shortly. Therefore, the vital context becomes apparent. MBS helms an absolute rulership controlling trillions in oil wealth guaranteed for decades to come, thus empowering virtually any visions or desires crossing his gaming generation mindset. Car collections. Further evidencing the Crown Prince's insatiable appetite for all moving devices, his ever-expanding car vaults contain over $500 million in exotic vehicles maintained by white glove crews ready to deploy his chosen ride within minutes. Beyond previously mentioned hypercars and rare one-off custom builds, these 10,000 square meter subterranean garages house thematic galleries showcasing an obsessive array spanning most auto genres. The main vault serves as a general car museum housing a best-of-show collection with each brand's halo vehicles on rotating display like a $5 million Porsche, 918 Spider Weissach, BMW M1 Procar and Jaguar XJ220. Further through his man cave sprawl over a dozen additional garages and rooms highlighting niches like 1980 to 90 SJDM Legends, V10 powered exotics, rally car classics, mega-yacht tenders and bespoke luxury SUV builds, rivaling the Dubai police concoctions. Given license to curate his ultimate fantasy fleet, special divisions source unique transports on the Crown Prince's behalf, like 6x6 off-road monsters, Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6, able to devour sand dunes and rocky passes most four-wheel drives avoid at maximum speeds. These outrageous SUVs neighbor tuner visions like a Brabus G700 Widestar conversion, boasting 700 horsepower for outracing Range Rovers. Naturally, matching aircraft and yachts tender await nearby should Bentley Bentigers prove insufficient. Of course, MBS maintains particular soft spots for fast Fords and fossil-fueled Ferrari 512s, judging by the dozens acquired over consecutive years. Forget consumer constraints. Special factory divisions cater to this repeat hyperclient, completing most any personalized commission regardless of road legality. Yet sometimes only analog transports scratch his late greatest generation father's lingering itches. This explains the acquisition of mint-condition 1960s Alfa Romeo Duetto Spiders, Jaguar XKE Roadsters, and Mercedes-Benz W113 SL convertibles, conjuring timeless Hollywood memories whipping down the Corniche with warm desert air tousling flowing headdresses. But ask veteran car handlers, and the Prince often desires his one-off Speedball 500 snow cone truck for zipping across Al Yamama Palace's equally immense grounds, as advisors hustle their Bentleys to maintain sight of their capricious liege, zipping between meetings at 30 miles per hour thanks to 500 horsepower electric motors and all-wheel drive over sand or grass. So like any gearhead rather than bored billionaire, the garage presents his true crowning jewel domain, filled with revving history, nostalgia, and obsessive curating befitting the world's greatest car nut, albeit one empowered to buy everything his gas pedal foot desires: daily lifestyle. Beyond assets, the genuinely daily lifestyle, routines and exempted freedoms, privy only to a monarch like the Crown Prince, fortify his position atop the global ultra-high net worth pyramid. This rarefied existence begins each morning as sunlight beams over the Red Sea horizon and keeps accelerating until the last distinguished guest or royal retainer departs his midnight Arabian fates. Every precious sand grain traversing the hourglass receives full optimization in this palace-hopping bubble, moving between properties in Riyadh, Jeddah and abroad as relentless statecraft dictates for one controlling all levers of national governance. This insomniac-fueled apex starts at sunrise within his million Riyadh Palace master bedroom suite, larger than most stately homes, and stuffed with ample amenities like aroma-infused steam showers with dozen heads configurations, gold leaf smart toilets, and dedicated massage perfumery rooms for preserving enervated leadership faculties across 100-hour work weeks. After browsing daily security briefings and geopolitical events on swastika inlaid hawking touchscreen tablets, the morning meal grandly arrives via anthropomorphic robot servants resembling vintage toy mascots Wally's Eve. Delicacies like Iranian imperial caviar, truffle and saffron omelets, and activated charcoal microalgae smoothies provide initial nourishment before ongoing fitness consultations and workouts conducted by former Navy SEAL personal trainers. Following blood diagnostic blood work analyzing nutritional status, spirits soar observing lush hanging gardens resembling the ancient hanging gardens of Babylon built by Nebuchadnezzar II during morning constitutionals meandering palace corridors. 100-year-old Washingtonian palm trees transported from Seville bloom while dazzling Silverterra sunlight replication systems mimic celestial bodies' movement, amplifying existential sensations of literal walking through heavens. Fortified by this bracing perspective reset, a convoy of armored Mercedes Maybach limousines with motorcycle security escorts spirit the reflective prince towards looming statecraft appointments and consequential meetings ripe with civilization-shaping gravity. In theorizing his daily reality further, seemingly limitless freedom to pursue passions remains the most precious perquisite boosting vitality and ambitions. Beyond quotidian governance sessions occur regular automotive-timed practice laps in customized Ferraris around private circuits, expert-level polo pony tournaments against Argentine Triple Crown elites, and even occasional bobsled runs against Olympic athletes at 120 miles per hour while debating investment strategies. Indeed, perhaps what separates MBS within a profound destiny marked lineage proves relentless drive towards maximizing personal peak performance daily through diverse pursuits. Thanks to liberated schedules, few beyond Forbes' 100 names remotely approach. Already, his stated ambitions include mastering a half-dozen classical instruments like piano, violin and harp, alongside Olympic aspirations in equestrian show jumping by 2028. Other glimpses into the lifestyle orbit reveal testing personal submersibles, exploring sunken antiquities, flying latest Dassault fighter jets, racing Olympic bobsled champions between meetings, and playing holographic tennis against Roger Federer or Grand Slam legends on request. Occasionally, only kitesurfing virgin powder blankets flanking the Caucasus Mountains soothes this dynamo's overloaded servers. Of course, at day's close, what ultimately matters little involves particular toys or locations. Rather, satisfaction stems from escaping lifeless routine afflicting most global power brokers, his contemporaries, to fulfill bucket list passions daily while moving Saudi civilization aggressively into the 22nd century as its visionary philosopher king. Most impactful, the Crown Prince helms absolute power, ensuring enlisted designers and engineers quickly implement disruptive ideas before opposing constituencies mobilize resistance. Construction encroaching upon NEOM's periphery stands testament to this firm hand forcing the future faster than bureaucratic systems and legislative bodies burdened by deliberation. Likewise, heavy hangs the crown itself when sole responsibility for protecting and guiding a region steeped in ancient faith traditions towards modernity rests upon one's brow. Indeed, Western critics fundamentally misinterpret authoritarian maneuvering within his kingdom as short-sighted consolidation of power among elites. Rather, astute regional observers realize Crown Prince MBS inhabits a profoundly more expansive chessboard filled with diverse power centers, religious establishments, and ethnic groupings requiring careful counterbalancing. Failure risks plunging wider geographies into sectarian chaos, witnessed previously in Syria, Libya, and Yemen. The latter conflagration draws his direct military intervention presently. Therefore, while observers critique limitations on activism and free expression within Saudi itself, the prince walks a tightrope, nullifying extremism while elevating economic prosperity for women and youth. Doing so depends on tightly managed progressive exposure, avoiding broader societal rejection by conservative blocs still wary of Western moralities. The grand visions. Beyond showy materialism, deeper investigation reveals Crown Prince MBS nurtures equally grand visions for Saudi Arabia's post-oil future at home and influence abroad. Several mammoth endeavors spearhead this national transformation push, most ambitious being NEOM's sprawling architectural undertakings and socio-economic goals. This blossoming Blade Runner-esque megacity seeds an aspiring post-hydrocarbon economy and society, attracting global intellectual elites. Spanning over 10,000 square miles when finished, early NEOM infrastructure and zoning plots the course for its theoretical 9 million residents expected by 2045. Ubiquitous technologies promise realizing ambitious civilizational heights, their foundations creeping across former deserts as we speak. Expect cities in the skies later as this hyper-funded vision escapes conventional opinion constraints. Already, its limitless imagination stretches high-rise habitats with flying drone taxis, whisking residents towards blossoming industries like artificial intelligence, renewable energy, genomics, space tourism, and rarefied services catering to an anticipated influx of ultra-high net worth penthouse elites. Early designs depict cloud-piercing towers with sustainable agriculture, abundant parks, running trails, and recreation threading monolithic arcologies anchored into bedrock below. Most everyday needs are fulfilled without leaving one's residential tower via drone delivery of meals or augmented shopping integrating enhanced sensors and virtual interfaces. For more embodied engagement, intricate gardens resembling hanging Babylon terraces, zero-carbon Genesis pools with flora and fauna and Moore-esque pleasure grounds offer additional sanctuaries, further satiating diverse preferences. Awaiting there are opportunities from alien restaurants serving 3D printed illusion confections, advanced aquatic theme parks rivaling Rapture and the Cloud Kingdom, or mixed reality cinemas blending physical sets with volumetric projections, surpassing today's pop-up Meow Wolf spectacles. Residents enjoy lifelong vacations as their ever-present workplace emerges next door. Expect secured abundance and technological leisure beyond mental horizons when NEOM towers eclipse Dubai's rowdy current offerings. Already global architects rush evolving engineering drafts for these blobular biohabitations. While critics insist NEOM remains only on paper for now, satellite images reveal continuous infrastructure development upon former wastelands. The over $500 billion backing guarantees further expansion as more world experts enter the initiative. Philosophies and worldview. Peeking beneath Prince Mohammed's bold pronouncements reveal nuanced philosophies aligning with coming epochs this complex leader spans as both temporal head of state and royal steward of eternally running houses that transcend individual lives. Turbulent periods demand complex leaders maneuvering multiple interests simultaneously. MBS exemplifies this tightrope, balancing astoundingly opposing dynamics as both youthful bean counter-bureaucrats set on aggressively modernizing and automation, while honoring ancient faith stewardships and tribal sheikh overseer roles, spanning ancestry legends tracing to Old Testament patriarchs, like Adnanite precursors of the Arab people. The prince inhabits numerous archetypes and mentalities corresponding to Saudi Arabia's founding storylines, from bureaucratic technocrat resembling Korea's economic miracle maestros to philosopher king aesthete, yearning for revived Andalusian golden ages reminiscent of Al-Haytham, and pioneering advancements that enlightened European intellect emerging from its dark ages. This multi-dimensional figure contains multitudes. Most unprecedented and refreshing includes attempts at resetting cultural reference points by invoking inspiration sources beyond expected regalia coronation pageantry. As the burgeoning NEOM City project reveals through reliance on architecture forth-shaping societies, MBS gravitates towards the future-first societal planning schemes reminiscent of utopian visions penned by sci-fi prophets like Isaac Asimov, futurists Buckminster Fuller, and optimistic simulations by Ray Kurzweil typing singularity arrival around 2045, the time when culmination of machine intelligence, bioengineering, 3D everything, and quantum computing lift humanity into post-scarcity rapture or existential purgatory, where angels fear tread depending on one's AGI theology. This Promethean ambition sparks consternation upon old sands preferring dated formulas. Yet the Crown Prince focuses with laser intensity on birthing new worlds rising from scorched earth rather than nursing to health dying ones. His orientation tilts towards shedding worn husks for glistening cyborg enhancement befitting spacefaring civilizations. Saudi Arabia's special capacity supporting his drive flows from concentrations of wealth springing from geological carbon serendipity over dead dinosaur fossils and prehistoric forests, once covering ancient peninsular coastlines, now submerged under Persian Gulf waves. Vectoring power from this lucrative cream means learning realpolitik statecraft quickly. The stakes grow exponentially as global leadership contracts into multipolar nodes, with Saud positioned prominently, if wisely pivoting relationships and institutions handed down through generations. Of course, dissent emerges from all sides following sharp adjustments against conventional thinking by cautious regional voices wary of rapid change. But hitting the Crown Prince proves akin to punching a cloud diffuse, constantly moving and quickly reforming into thunder. His adaptive high-energy drive conquers most terrain foregoing standard-issue playbooks. What remains unpredictable is just how seismic the ultimate visions manifest across both physical and mental terrains globally as Saudi civilization launches into orbit by 2030, splashing the oil wealth. Beyond showmanship and glossy PR magazine spreads showing the Crown Prince clutching crystal balls promising sci-fi futures. What substantiates his glittering city schemes and governs dynamic swings in strategy? Insight into his mercurial brinkmanship with global powers lies underneath the Arabian Peninsula, where Mother Earth's hydrocarbons concentrate into some of the world's most accessible and lucrative deposits. This bankroll springs from eons of organic matter from extinct species buried beneath what became the empty quarter's barren dunes. Now great wells siphon their lithic remnants upwards, irrigating modern Saudi kingdom's prosperous establishment from this elder petroleum nursemaid. Presently, the fountainhead churns out over 10 million barrels daily, converting dead fossils into lucrative financial flows. Most ultimately exports abroad, with proceeds flooding national coffers to the tune of hundreds of billions annually. Charged by these monumental spigots still spurting strong for generations, the Dominion largely finances itself into futures, leaving Western budgetary models obsolete. Invigorated by endless black gold guaranteeing his talent, spectacle productions remain well-funded for lifetimes potentially. The inspirational leader enlists his ambitious McKinsey and BCG-trained technocrats to enact seismic business environment and economic diversification transformations, luring global expertise and overseas capital into newly incorporated Saudi ventures spanning sectors from logistics to biotechnology to glimmering media hubs. Within restricted briefing rooms, global consultant powerhouses like Bain, BCG plus hand-picked strategy titans crafted especially for the kingdom chisel out national advantage scenarios, targeting the biggest wins for citizens and international partners ready to build future industries under the reliable Saudi banner. With near-bottomless funding secured for generations and centralized authority to approve or veto ideas instantly, stunning manifestos emerge detailing systematic reforms implemented seamlessly, given unfettered control to execute unhindered by legislative delays or extended analysis paralysis, known to encumber Western-style republic systems. The fruits emerge rapidly as newly incorporated Saudi futurist corporations attract foreign direct investment, partnerships with leading multinationals, and injections of seed funding into training colleges preparing qualified Saudi youth for operating within NEOM's backdrop, encompassing bombastic urban megastructures, evoking Arabian futurism from 1970s science fiction paperback cover artwork. This period witnesses the kingdom aggressively moving to capture strategic positions across targeted global high technology and luxury sectors, befitting a Gulf state boasting the first trillionaire monarch. However, rather than following convention regimes buying established leading brands, MBS cleverly incubates entirely new future-setting companies, organically grown to dominate key industries for the budding Saudi society. The larger mission aims for capturing maximum mindshare, establishing the oil-rich state as arbiter of taste across desired categories. Recent examples include revelation of his clandestine maneuverings within the electric vehicle industry, where secret buying of sizable positions in troubled icons. Lucid Motors not only rescued the uncertain premium marque, but enabled sufficient capitalization, allowing its future car lines targeting unrealized high specification that justifies invoking lofty comparisons against Rolls-Royce and Bentley pedigree for a fledgling battery-powered challenger brand, questioning electrification conventions defined by Tesla's reigning celebrity aura. This bold move transformed struggling upstart to potential titan usurper. The lucid gambit follows earlier precedent by MBS involving capture of Newcastle United Football Club, further elevating affinity between Saudi interests and trend-setting youth plus high-worth individuals valuing sporting investments and personal branding associated with owning world-famous teams, followed obsessively by millions of fans. The £300 million deal for legendary club stakes builds upon earlier smaller acquisitions involving formula racing circuits and horse racing breeding farms. Ultimately, all pieces move the greater agenda for rapidly evolving country eagerly, conveying cutting-edge appeal and thought leadership across targeted passion niches like racing competitions, popular sports franchising, and technology build future mobility advancements. A concerted image campaign moving perceptions to acknowledge Saudi's coming uncompromising prominence, setting tastes for what matters among next-generation change makers rather than lingering upon reductive stereotypes still prevalent abroad. The richest royal. While many billionaire business barons and celebrities claim excessive lifestyles often derided as outlandishly opulent ostentations, Crown Prince MBS enters rarefied terrain virtually unmatched on Earth presently. Consider how virtually limitless wealth compounds already staggering notions of privilege into almost impossible to fathom dimensions of accessible luxury, unbridled by life limitations, capacitor others. This astonishing breeding manifests across every detail of his comprehensively considered experiences involving ownership of multiple palaces, customized at costs exceeding most luxury urban skyscrapers, routine access to a rotating fleet of cars costing more individually than typical private jets, ability to casually collect one-off historical treasures as personal amusement that rivals some national museums, and authority to reshape civilizations on fantastical whims by founding entirely new trillion-dollar cities rising upon former wastelands. The bigger contextual differentiator regards guarantee of perpetually increasing bounties assurance by birthright stakes, claiming fuels dominating global economies for multiple generations, guarantees while most billionaire peers face fickle consumer favor challenges or rapid technology disruption turnover beyond their control, despite earnest efforts hatched in competitive cauldrons. In contrast, our royal role model commands supreme resources lastingly, enabling indulging wildest dilettante fascinations like mastering traditional high arts as patron rivaling Lorenzo Medici, accumulating antiquities hoards burying secret vault locations and shell companies littered across principal banking safe havens, and even bankrolling new corporate competitors threatening established players in sectors like electric vehicles and private space launches on Crown Prince Challenge dares. And our current championship leader with the steadiest strategic hand on the Tiller chart's course, neither inherently left nor right on geopolitical discourse spectrums occupied by most observers. Instead, mysterious Polaris star captivating allies and adversaries inhabits an altogether alternative plane of influencing above, not opposite, established coordinates formulated by preceding generations. For the desert inspiration moves sand and shapeshifts assuming forms, rendering others' powers impotent against Protean prince dancing on air, while feather footing across earth upon fleetest stallions and wheels shod by horsepower steel, driving future roads to ancient destinies reclaimed anew.